Well, it's not only possible, but it is absolutely urgent. It's impossible to imagine that these four strikes on different hospitals, 4 different times on hospitals in Yemen. And we should also bring in the hospital, Doctors Without Border hospital hit in Afghanistan, even though again and again and again they sent the GPS coordinates and connected directly to U.S. command. But in Yemen, who really runs the whole bombing operation? Who refuels Saudi planes? Who gives the GPS coordinates? And that's the U.S. Saudi Arabia could not fly one plane without U.S. assistance, both from military contractors and directly from the Pentagon. They can't refuel their planes without U.S. assistance. The naval blockade is carried out by the U.S. Navy. So they have mapped every corner of the globe, and they have certainly mapped Yemen. To imagine that these strikes on hospitals and on schools and on food processing plants and on water, which is the most precious resource in Yemen. Again and again, what is being destroyed is the civilian infrastructure. It is a calculated war on the entire people. But especially hospitals. Hospitals are absolutely prohibited to strike under international law for any reason whatsoever. And that goes back to the Geneva Conventions, 1949, Article 19, and reiterated in 1977. The U.S. has signed these. The world has signed these international conventions on war, and yet they're being directly violated. A hospital is a known location. Its coordinates are a known location. So to imagine that it's an accident that they're hit, and not just once, 4 times now in Yemen, we know who is responsible. It's both the Saudi bombers, but it's also the U.S. who is coordinating the Saudi bombing.
Right, yet the U.S. State Department has already expressed concern over Monday's strikes, saying that they condemn all attacks on medical facilities. How were they thought when they were supplying Saudi Arabia with weapons? How does that work, that relationship?
Well, it really works because it's profitable. For example, to General Dynamics, a new military contract, $1.5 billion in weapons sales to Saudi Arabia. Now, that's not for the benefit of anyone except General Dynamics and their profits. And that's the way weapons sales, the U.S. is the largest weapons seller in the world today, and that's the way weapons sales works. Any concern that's expressed, they know exactly who they're hitting. Now, who, though, does U.S. fear in Yemen, and who does Saudi Arabia fear? They really fear the Ansarullah movement, which is a movement, an independent movement that is for democratic change in Yemen, and it is a large coalition force. That is what Saudi Arabia most fears as an absolute monarchy. Trying to press down a population that has no rights whatsoever. They fear a movement anywhere in the region that has independence and that represents the people in any way whatsoever. So they're against even the Saudi, in Saudi Arabia, they're against the parliament in Yemen, even convening a meeting again, which they've not been able to do for 2 years, and they just announced they're to do it. They want to reestablish the parliament. Saudi Arabia opposed it.
Sir, I'm really sorry. It's always great to hear your opinion, but I'm afraid it's all the time we have for you right now. Thank you for finding that time and being on our program. This was Sara Flounders from the International Action Center. Thank you.